What's up, everyone? Welcome to MX Disc Golf. I'm Raul Barcelo, and this is coverage of the final round of the Texas Amateur Championships presented by Dynamic Discs. This is a tournament that happened back in May in Cedar Hill at one of my favorite properties of disc golf in the whole world, which is Lorch Park. And it houses two courses. It's the Coyote course and the Beaver course. And today we're going to see the final round on the Beaver course. In this card, we're going to see Jorge Patiño. We're also going to have David Nash, the brother of the touring pro. We got Logan Levels, youngster. And we got Keegan Hop, who is the sponsored player for the presenting sponsor for this tournament, Dynamic Disc Carrollton. And there we have the results after round 2, going into the final round. And here we go, hole 1, par 4. The players who are watching this, and those of you who know, will probably know that the tournament was actually played in different order, but in the end, this made it a little bit easier, and so we're just going to play it from hole 1, and it's not going to change the outcome at the end, don't worry. So we had Keegan teeing off first. Now we have Logan, wide open fairway. This is pretty long par 4. It does say 470 feet, but it plays like 600 because of how uphill it is. And so pretty much you just want to bite off as much as you can and land somewhere where it's wide open so that your next shot is unimpeded and straight to the basket. It should be straightforward birdie for these guys pretty much, unless you start contending with some of the trees. There we see that David turned it over a little bit too much, but should still work. Keegan turning over his approach a little too much. He's going to be putting from outside the circle from the bushes. We have Jorge with his upshot. Looks pretty good. Looks to be inside the circle. David had a little bit of a weird lie, so I don't know if he was trying to skip it or not, but he ended up skipping it off the side there, and he's gonna have a long look there for his birdie. And Logan with the best drive and the best approach. Pretty good stuff. Keegan must have kicked out, and so he's putting from the middle of the fairway, but pretty far. So it's going to be his tap-in par from there. David using another skip. I guess he was skipping it before too. And so now he's also going to have a short look for his par. This is for birdie for Jorge. Wow, did you see that? Let's look at that again. Incredible. Barely snuck in. Very nice birdie. Good job. And this is for birdie for Logan. Oh, just a little bit hesitant there. So that's going to be a par for Logan and par for Keegan also. And we're going to go to... Oh, wait, sorry. I forgot. David still had to tap out his par, too. So, 1 birdie, 3 pars. Standard. Let's go. Hole 2, par 3, 330 feet. This is the long position for this pin. This is quite an unusual play, in my opinion, going forehand roller. I think I lost it a little bit there with the camera, but it's a decent lie, but he's not all the way up there for the birdie. Most people are going to want to go like this, backhand trying to get under that low ceiling and have something that skips up towards the basket. There's also a mando on the left side, far left. You can't really see it on the camera, but it doesn't let people go big hyzer on the left side, like what David's going to try to do here, but on the right side. So this is a perfectly legal play, and the wind was actually favorable for this kind of throw, but just not enough power to get it there. Still a little bit short, so he's got some work to do to get it to the basket. Good approach. I like that long look from George. That was pretty cool. Keegan, very confident putt, straight in. It was looking at the OB if he didn't hit chain, so very good putt. That was probably outside the circle. Another nice birdie from Logan, this time much closer to the basket. And George and David are gonna take their pars. Go to hole 3, 325 feet. I don't think there's another pin position for this hole. This is the only pin position. It can get kind of tricky with the wind, and as we can see, it's pretty windy right now, so let's see how these guys can manage. Going forehand, that looked a little bit low, but it'd probably be safe. He should be able to get up and down for his par from there. Logan going backhand just slightly, nose up maybe, so it doesn't get quite all the way there, but also should be safe in the open. We're going to see another forehand here from George. That one has much better height, and that looked really good. We'll see where he ended up. And David going to try another big hyzer. His brother Zach also has a lot of power, so I'm sure he's learning. He's picking up on some lines from his brother. This is Keegan's long look after his low forehand. Wow. He still managed to give it a really good run. That was only inches away from going in. Solid bid. It's just a little bit high. It's kind of windy, so it's kind of hard running them from this far away. And, you know, if you miss, you're going to be probably another 25, 30 feet away again. So, very floaty. That was a good try from Logan. So he's not going to be too far from the basket either. Oh. And David just he went over the basket, so he's a little bit far, and just far enough that he couldn't connect on his comebacker. So we're going to have a bogey for David and a par for Logan, who converted no problem there from where he landed. Same with George and Keegan. Very close to the basket. And yeah, first bogey. We're going to move on to hole 4. Very short hole, downhill. There's a mando on the right side. It's only 275 feet, so we want to just go straight for the basket. I don't really think there's too many other options here than to just attack it straight. I'm going forehand. A little bit short left. He's going to have a longer look, but still definitely a look. Logan trying the same line, gets a little bit better kick off those bushes, so he's closer to the basket. Now George going backhand. Both George and David finding that left side tree, kind of a magnet for discs. Little approach there from George. He's good from that distance. That should be automatic for him. Par. Let's see if David can leave it at a reasonable distance. Wow, actually running it from really far, hitting chains, almost getting that birdie. Very good stuff. Now here's Keegan's look for birdie. Nice and safe. Can Logan get a stroke? Yes, he can. Good birdie there from Logan. A little bit of work there for Keegan, but not a problem. Good for his comeback. So that's his par. This is also for par from Coyote. And the tap in par after almost making it in from really far. That would have been an awesome bounce back after that bogey. Hole 5 is 395 feet. The basket is tucked into that little cave type situation there. The nook on the left side. It's on top of a little wooden platform. It can get kind of muddy over there sometimes. But really, what you just want is to defeat this low ceiling off the tee. Get around that stump, the dead tree stump that you see in the middle of the screen. And have something. After you get past that stump, then now you have looks for birdie. See, George is just before it, and he's going to be left. So I don't think he's going to have a real look for birdie. That's a couple of times that we've seen George go with the forehand roller. It's pretty interesting play, but he's really good at it, and it makes it work. So I think it's awesome to see it. Oh, and David just a little bit off his mark, hitting the tree. Having some trouble here, scrambling. He's still going to have a long look for his 3. This is Logan's second shot after hitting early. All right, here comes. This is David's third shot. Possibly a little long. There is a lot of rough very close to the basket, so I don't even think you can be circle's edge behind the basket and have a good look. And George he was trying to manufacture something, and he just went way too big. He's going to have a complicated look from where he's at. This is for birdie from Keegan from long. Just a nice little upshot, trying to keep it safe. This is George playing out from the woods. Now he has that for his bogey. Yeah, this is for bogey. Oh, I'm missing that short putt, but like I said, it's always very obstructed around this green. It's never easy putts. You just want to be like right under those wooden railroad ties. So, you know, All right, hole 6. Keegan off first.
That'll work.
Now here comes Logan. You're gonna see another forehand roller by the Sonic disc. Making it work. And David just can't get it together right now. Having a tough time. Good approach from George. That was David's long look for par. This is where Logan's drive ended up. That's a good drive. And very smart to just try to play it for par here. Here's Keegan's putt. Does not connect. Good bogey save there from David Nash. A little bit of a struggle buzz now. +4 through 6 holes. Keegan saving his par. Same thing with George here. He's just going to save his par, and Logan too. They're all going to have par. So good work there. Moving on to hole 7. Good drive from Keegan. Yep, that's the perfect line. There's OB all over the right side where you see those little flags. So the fairway of hole 18 is what you see there on the right side where those other players are standing right now. So George kind of cutting into the OB and back out of the OB there. So definitely want to make sure that you stay on the left side. Now this is a play I've not seen before, going over all the trees here, trying to find the inbounds, and sure enough, I mean, it's not as far as if he had gone just straight through, but gets all the danger out of play. Pretty much guarantees that he's going to be inbounds. George, after that roller, a little forehand, puts it right under the basket. That's going to be almost a guaranteed birdie. Here we go, David, backhand. Trying to get it under the basket as well. A little bit short. The ceiling to the entrance of where this basket is very tricky because the basket is raised and the ceiling is almost literally at the level of the chain. So you have to just be zooming something at that height to be able to get all the way up to where the chains are. It looked like a berg out of his hand. Good shot. That's what you want to see under the basket. This is going to be a tricky putt for birdie here from Keegan. Good birdie there from David. He needed that breath of fresh air. That was really nice. Now this is what's left for his par for Keegan after he missed the birdie and it rolled back a little bit. Whew. Good work. It's so windy that even those short little putts can be tricky. That's what you want. Super short putts for birdie. No stress. Good work from Logan and George. And oh yeah, and David. 3 birdies there. Only 1 par from Keegan. Hole 8. Obviously water's OB. You can see the flags there. Otherwise, it's 300 feet. There's also OB long, so if you go in the bushes that are behind the basket, that's also going to be OB. So that I like that because it adds a different level of difficulty. And George just putting it under the basket. That hit the pole underneath. It's literally parked. Perfect hole for the type of shot that David's throwing here. And what? Wow. That was very unfortunate. I don't think I've ever seen a kick and a roll that far away. He was, I mean, that tree that he hit, it's just outside circle 1. So he was all the way up there and it rolled way back to go OB. That was bad luck. Keegan showing us his forehand precision. He's going to be maybe just slightly outside the circle. But first, David from where he rolled out. Nothing to do but just put it under the basket. Take that bogey and move on. Ooh, that was a long look for birdie from Keegan. That was a good attempt. And Logan almost making that putt. That was kind of far. That was right. Oh no, David. Good par save from Keegan. That's going to be a double bogey for David. And a bogey for Logan after having gone OB off his drive. And finally the tap in from George. Hole 9, par 3, 315 feet. This is like an island, so everything that's right in front of the tee pad here, you can actually see where it's marked off, and that's all like a little swamp. It does look green, but there's water underneath all of that, so you have to make it all the way over to the next clearing, right where that first white pole is, and then the basket is way back there. That was a great drive from Keegan. That's exactly what you want to see. Logan. That one might be flirting with the OB. We'll see. Oh, I think he made it. Lots of scrambling on this hole. It's very difficult. Oh my God, again, George sneaking one in exactly the same as in hole 1 where he basically is grinding on the tray and then skating it in like a bull. That's awesome. Oh, Keegan, after that great drive, not able to capitalize on that birdie. Good save for par from David. That's a great birdie from Logan. He's just one back from Keegan now. Hole 10, 345 feet. This is a long tunnel uphill. This is a very beautiful hole. You can't see the basket from the tee, but it does play probably like 425, 430 to get all the way to the basket. That's a really good shot. We'll see how close it is once we get up there. George a little bit soft on the backhand, but it does scoot up there, so he's gonna have something to work with for sure. Although if you're too far on the left side, it's kind of pinched off. You definitely want to land a little bit more on the right side. That looks like a textbook shot there from Keegan. That was very, very good. That's probably looking at a birdie from inside the circle. David, lots of power, kind of fading off left a little bit. We'll see what he's working with. This is what I was talking about. George is a little bit pinched off here, but not too bad. Still able to work with that. And David was able to clear everything, so he's just looking at a wide open look for birdie and just bounces it off the flag on top. Very close. So this is Keegan's look for birdie now. Oh, man. Maybe feeling a little bit of pressure now. There's been a couple of birdie misses back to back. Oh, no. That's going to be a bogey, and I think that's going to tie it up at the top there between the three of them. As long as George can connect here, yeah, he's good from this short distance. Keegan drops down to -3. David saving his par too. Now Logan. Oh yeah, that was for birdie. So now Logan is on the top. I completely forgot that we didn't even see Logan putt because he was the closest out of everyone. That was cool. And man, gets the tee box and then shanks it to the right on the next shot. Very tough hole 11, 355 feet. Tunnel all the way up to the left. Yeah, I think both George and David are going to be too far left. And obviously, Logan kicked left early, so he's going to be scrambling. And yeah, that's probably exactly what you want to see. Keegan making it all the way up the tunnel. He's going to be putting for the 2. Here comes Logan's scramble. That was a really, really good shot. Very impressive. Let's see if David can recreate what we just saw from Logan. Oh, man, it's just a little bit wide and kicks off to the right. And George also having to scramble, but he's the master of the forehand roller, so he's not worried about it. He's going to be very close to the basket. David, after that kick, he's just wanting to get up to the basket and move on. And this is Keegan for birdie to get that stroke back and tie back up the lead. And he gets it. Perfect. Great bounce back after that bogey on 10. And George has not missed a putt inside the circle, I don't think. This has been his bread and butter, making sure that he gets all of these. And that's why he's still right up there, one stroke away from the lead. All right, hole 12. This is the shortest hole, if I'm not mistaken, 155 feet. Basket is right there. Just a little low ceiling tunnel. It's easier to go on the left side of the trees there, but some people do choose to go on the right side. We'll see if anybody chooses to go that way. So far, forehands on the left side is the preferred play. There it is. Right side gap. Doesn't get all the way through, but he's still going to have a long look there for his birdie. We'll see. You just want to make this initial gap. Yeah, that's what you don't want to see. That kicks into oblivion. Logan opts to just lay it up under the basket, see what Keegan do. And Keegan misses all metal completely, so now he's gonna have a long comebacker. That was David pitching up from Neverland. Oh man. And I guess Logan's strategy paid off by laying up because Keegan missed it and he missed a comebacker too, and now he's gonna have a bogey, and that's gonna put Logan back up in first place by himself with 3 down. Starting to get really competitive back and forth. Seeing strokes given and handed back hole after hole. So let's go to hole 13, 280 feet. This is like a more than 90 degrees to the right hole. It's kind of a weird hole, to be honest. Very difficult to birdie, but most people are going to be able to get the easy par because the distance is just not that high. So you just pitch up to the corner and then pitch up to the basket. Oh, that was more of an attempt to go for it a little bit higher. We'll see if that plays out well. Yep. That one might have been a little bit deep, actually. We'll see. So David must have caught something high up, and he's early. Trying to Anheuser around to the basket. Basket is at the very end of that little tunnel there. It's not that far. Probably maybe 150 feet tops from where Keegan is right now. He has to go in between the 2 trees, and that looked like a good shot. Now we see the basket finally. George with the little patent pending stance. Oh, good run. That had a really good height. Logan just needs to play it. Oh no, big mistake. I was going to say he just needs to play it under the basket, but now he's scrambling for his par. Pretty much guaranteed bogey here. Yep. Long look for par here for David. He's not gonna get it. Good work there to get his par for Keegan. The same with George here. With Logan's bogey, that means that we're gonna see a three-way tie off the top at 3 down. All right, hole 14, 285 feet, par 3. There's just one big guardian tree in the middle of the fairway that you have to get around. Otherwise, this is a very easy hole. This is probably one of the easier holes. All of these guys are going to be able to reach it, no problem. You can go backhand or you can go forehand. It's definitely placed both ways here.
Shot.
That little roll from Keegan, he's going to be very close to the basket. Same with Logan, going more of a heiser route, but still very close, if not closer. That was also a good shot from David. Made it all the way around. So the first one to putt here is George. He's in the bushes. Oh, I think that might be one of the first putts that we've seen him miss. David, he had a little Annie putt. He couldn't connect. Logan very close to the basket there, no problem. Same with Keegan. Scooted all the way up to the basket with his felon. So 2 birdies, 2 pars, and we're going to move on to hole 15. Definitely one of the more difficult holes in either course here, Coyote or Beaver. It's 380 feet. Tunnel that kind of zigzags exactly like how Keegan just threw it perfectly. He made it look real easy, but it's really not that easy. Especially right off the tee, we have this low ceiling. It forces guys to throw laser lines that can tend to flip over or not flip over enough. It's what we usually see. George, a little bit high. Oh, that was good work from David. I like that. So even though George was high and hit the ceiling, he's still in the middle of the fairway, so this is going to be good for his approach. It looks like he did good work there. Logan, he's going to have a long par after that scramble. Oh man, he airmails it. Not enough confidence in that par putt. No, this is for birdie for Keegan for 2 strokes on Logan. Oh man, that was like a bullet to the chains. Very impressive. Good putt. And that was a 2-stroke swing. I think that, man, that was probably the most significant moment of the tournament so far. Very difficult hole, like I said. Hole 16, par 3, 295 feet. We're playing to the new short basket position. It's just been around for about a year, maybe. And it's on a raised, a little platform, wooden platform. And yeah, very difficult when it's windy. We saw that Keegan was very short there. I don't know if he's going to have a look for his birdie from where he is. George had a really good shot. David kind of going a little far now. Logan, that looked like a good shot. He's going to be putting inside the circle. David doesn't want anything to do with this putt. It's kind of sloped, and since it's a raised basket, it's just such a death putt. And Logan connecting for birdie. That was a really, really good putt. Get one of the strokes back from the last hole. Here comes Keegan to keep it a 2-stroke lead. He's not able to connect. No, this is for his par to just give away the 1 stroke back to Logan. Yeah, no problem. No problem. And I think George is going to get the... Oh, that was for par, yeah. Cool, so we have 2 guys at 4 down and 1 guy at 5 down. It's really exciting. Hole 17, par 3, 390 feet. This basket is halfway up the hill. You have to play around these big trees over the water, over that down log. And kind of, honestly, that's not too bad of a play where Logan is right now. He might have a look, but it's so uphill that, I mean, to honestly birdie this hole, you probably need 550 hyzer power. It's pretty crazy. Keegan's gonna try it, but I think that went too far straight. Yep, he's in those trees on the right side. I really want to cut in before that and get up the hill that way. This is another route that I've seen people attempt where you go Anheuser around the trees. His disc is not necessarily lost, but it's not in a great spot. And it is in bounds over there, so good luck finding your disc. So this is where David ended up. He's scrambling from inside the trees. Like I said, it's not too bad, but it's definitely not where you want to be. This is much more of the traditional lie where most people are going to land right around here, have this kind of upshot towards the basket. Good try there from Logan. Little spinner, hits the bottom of the cage. Definitely gave it a try. Now David, to save his par, still has a few feet uphill. Oh, good job. Good putt. Keegan making sure that he's taking his time to tap in his par and make sure that everything is coming out smooth and connects properly. No mistakes right now. All pars on 17. And finally, hole 18, 415 feet. Par 3, very difficult par 3. You got OB on the right side, which is the fairway for hole 7. And the basket is very far, like in relation to where the tee pad is much further left than you would think it is. So these guys are having to, the ideal shot is barely going to be missing the bushes on the left side. They're trying to bomb it, trying to go as far up the fairway as they can, but none of them are going to be having looks for birdie, real looks. You just have to be way further left than that. And David doesn't like it. He hits that early tree. This is the corner where you want to get around and then go far left. That's actually pretty good, I think. Oh, there's a basket. So Logan would have to throw it in from here for him to be able to tie Keegan. He still went for it. Not too shabby. I'm sure he's not ecstatic, but there it is. Good approach. And all he has to do is put it close so that he can finish it off. Now, I will say what I was mentioning earlier is that this tournament actually started, this round, this card started on hole 2. And so if you go back and rewatch hole 1, Logan almost birdied that hole. He barely missed that putt. And if he had made that putt, they would have gone to a playoff. But instead, Keegan walks away with his win by 1 stroke. This is the putt I was talking about. It's very close. I would have taken them to the playoff. And sorry I couldn't put it all together in the way that it happened when I had the graphics made that were made from hole 1, and it was too much of a hassle to change them, so this is how we ended up. And also, I want to thank all of the players who let me film them. Really cool guys. Enjoyed filming some of you guys for the first time and some of you for not the first time, and we'll see you guys again soon. And thank you guys all for watching, and if you want to see round 2 unedited, please make sure you go check that out on our channel as well. Have a good one, guys.